a lot. Yes, I did too. And hello again to Annoying of Farah saying, re-dancers of yore, I bet your book buddy, you are of course talking about Rhiann Williams, she of the sea shanties, would know a good old jig and reel or two. Am I annoying? Asks Annoying of Farah. Absolutely not. This is so welcome, and I'm just thrilled that you have obviously been listening to Arvos if you know of Rhiann, Annoying of Farah, so thank you very, very much. In fact, I know a reel or two. Once upon a time, I was an Irish dancer. Yeah. 0467 922 666 if you can share with me the dances that you learned in primary school. If there's anybody out there, or high school, if there's anybody out there that had swing dancing in the mix in particular, let me know. You gotta dig a little deeper, find out who you are. You gotta dig. Because it's that time of the week. Here on Afternoons, we do like to dig a little deeper, get to the bottom of things, namely the name of things. You might have heard us delve into the story behind the mysterious Isa Brown Chooks, who Guinness of Guinness World Records was. Spoiler alert, the beer and the records, both one and the same, and also Dr. Seuss. But today, this one was actually inspired by me listening to the Drive Teams chat the other day. It's the Lindy Hop. How many dance teachers does it take to change a light bulb, asks our resident joker. 5, 6, 7, 8. Right now, though, Quito Washington is a teacher and the founder of Swing Dance NT and joins us now. Quito, good afternoon to you.
Hey, how you doing from Darwin?
Thank you for joining us from sunny Darwin, I'm assuming, at the minute.
Oh, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
We've been having a bit of a chat about barn dancing here on the station. I know you're here to talk swing dance, but did you ever dabble in the barn dance, Quito?
Yeah, you actually caused a little bit of PTSD there with primary school. And we had the U.S. was really big on trying to make square dancing the national dance.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, based on Henry Ford. It's a very tragic tale. And, so we were subjected to that. I mean, it was as useless as anything growing up to know how to do the popcorn dance and, call out dances. And
I remember the popcorn dance. Did you have Strip the Willow as well? Because that one is giving me flashbacks.
I don't remember that one. I think I successfully buried that with years of therapy. But popcorn, I can hear that song and I just go, oh no. No.
So you did a clear pivot away from the square dance, the barn dance, despite the best efforts of the US government at the time. When did you first learn the Lindy Hop?
So my grandmother taught me, I know, when I was 5 years old and I stood on her feet in the kitchen and she would hear a song on the radio and she because she was born in 1914, she was there at the right age, 20 years old, when all this stuff was hitting. And she could recount like no one's business, hearing it on the radio, when people came out, other people. Because, for example, everyone loves Elvis Presley, but there were 50 different versions of Elvis Presley, right? So all Louis Armstrong, Ella Fitzgerald, there were so many other artists that just got lost to time, Yeah. And she would recount those and where she'd go clubbing in Atlantic City or New York or, and I'm just like, wow. So I got into making films, and then my last film was an homage to my grandmother's story, and we shot it down in Melbourne, and it was called Swing It. It was super fun. Shout out Kellyanne Doll. Super fun. And then came back up and the Hot and Cold Big Band started. And I was like, all right, I can do this. Let's do it. And it's been going 15 years.
It sounds like you were drawn to swing dance just, I guess, in equal measures as you were drawn to your grandmother's stories and recounting her own personal history of it. I love that that's such a close connection.
Absolutely. Every time I go out, it's just a shout out to her,
And what do you like about the Lindy Hop, I guess, in particular? Was she bouncing around the kitchen with you?
It was bouncing around the kitchen, the stories she would tell, and then it's a connecting dance. And if you do if you do a social, mental, physical, and emotional activity, 30 seconds in one day, you add 7 good minutes to your life. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. And So you can go running, you can go to the gym, you can do all those wonderful things, but the only thing that does all four is dancing, partner dancing. So, and my grandmother used to always say that it's a 3-minute romance on the dance floor, and you can have incredible conversations in those 3 minutes, and then off you go because no one can hear you. It's the only private space you can ever talk to someone. And I was like, oh, yeah, good point.
What a wise woman she was.
It didn't really affect me when I was like 8 or 9. I had no idea what she was talking about, but now I do. Okay.
Absolutely. 666 ABC Radio Canberra. You're listening to the Afternoons program. On the line is Quito Washington, who is the founder and a teacher at Swing Dance NT. I wonder how you came to be in the Northern Territory, Quito.
Oh, it's a classic tale, a lot like Casablanca, a lot like I met a pretty Australian girl, and
biopic to come.
It was the amount of postage it took to get her over to the U.S. though. That was incredible. No, just kidding. We met online in a random chat room. She flew over, and then she wanted to come home, and I was like, sounds good. We came straight to Darwin. Have never regretted it for a moment.
Oh, that is wonderful. I love that you're bringing swing dance to the Territory. But I guess the reason we got you in, Quito, is to talk about Lindy of the Lindy Hop. So who was this Lindy?
Charles Lindbergh. So in the 1920s, 1930s era, all the people flying left, right, and center. Shout out Amy Johnson. He flew over the Atlantic. And so when a reporter went to, the dance halls in New York City, and I'm being very general here, the legend is that he asked the dancer what dance they were doing because they were throwing the girls in the air.
And that was a bit of a nod to the flying.
Exactly.
Right. So because he had done, I guess, the first transatlantic flight at the time?
Yeah. I think something like that. My aeronautical history is very limited to
that's okay.
To early Warner Brothers cartoons, so I fell really bad. And, whatever was mentioned in the Gilmore Girls, but that was very limited too.
The Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, it's a reference. Just go with it.
Well, look, I love it because if they're talking about the first transatlantic flight, I'm on board. I am on board. So the style of the dance was inspired by the flight? That's how it came about?
No, the name of the dance was inspired
just the
by
name
the flight.
Of the dance. Okay.
Right, with a partner going over the top of the lead.
Ah, okay.
So the classic move is the Lindy flip.
Now, our government was pretty successful in instilling square and line dancing in us here in Australia. So for people who haven't seen or ever danced the Lindy Hop, can you describe it for us?
Sure. I can do that, and one thing better. If you go on YouTube and you look for the phrase Darwin Swing Shift, you'll see myself and Kellyanne Dahl dancing around Darwin in a number of historic places. It really shows you exactly the dance that we do, so it's Darwin Swing Shift. It's an 8-count dance for the Lindy Hop. And it's very similar to the foxtrot with the quick, quick, slow, slow, quick, quick, slow, slow. You can see it in ballroom. If you ever watch Ballroom Jive, where they do the rock step, triple step, very similar to that. Mm-hmm. And it's a subset. So when you say swing dancing, it's a Lindy Hop is one dance out of swing dancing. You also have Balboa. You also have collegiate shag. You also have 6-count. So just think to yourself, it's a dance that goes quick, quick, triple step, quick, triple step, which matches the music of the swing era. Da, da, ba, ba, da, 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 ba, ba, da.
Beautiful description. That was flawless. Flawless, Quito.
I do what I can in my humble way. My humble way. I mean, when you got a guy whose name is the capital city of 2 different countries, well, you got to raise the bar a little bit there,
And haven't you just? So how did the Lindy Hop get so popular? How was it popularized?
So one of 2 ways. So the original dance was super popular in the black communities in the U.S., down south in New York and Chicago, right, in L.A. But then Arthur Murray of the Arthur Murray Dance Studios, to teach people it, he actually kind of mellowed it out. Instead of making an 8-count, he made it a 6-count that he could teach in one lesson. And based on that, they could dance it to the same music. So it spread like wildfire across the U.S., and then with the military, it spread across the world. So there was a huge component in Melbourne and Sydney of Lindy Hop in the 40s with World War II. In the U.K., it was big. On the continent of Africa, it's big in different places, South Africa. And it all spread because people said, oh, okay, we can do the 6 count. What's more? What's next? And then they would learn Lindy Hop, and they go, this is very, very cool. So you can do it at, all ages, all capabilities. You can do it to slow music. You can do it to fast music. It's a very adaptable dance and super fun.
Well, Quito, I think our campaign has begun to get the Lindy Hop within schools here in Australia, though perhaps not advisable to be throwing kids around when they're in primary school. But hey, I will try my best.
I'll tell you right now, when you have just a bunch of primary kids bouncing around to swing music and just big smiles on their faces, it's the best. You're just like, and they go, am I doing it right? You're doing fine. Just keep bouncing. You're good. All right. And the other thing, the other thing that was really good, all the fancy lift moves you see, all the big showboating moves, those happened because on the Navy boats there were only men, right? But they still wanted to dance. So these huge guys would start dancing with each other as leaders and follows, and they'd be picking each other up. And that's how a lot of the air steps started when they came back, because these guys were lifting each other up, and they just came back to lift their followers up when they got home.
Well,
fantastic stuff.
Quito, it sounds like our dreams are already being realised, because somebody has texted in saying, hi Alice, I worked as a teacher in an English boarding school in the early 2000s. I had to teach the Lindy Hop to year 7. Another teacher had to teach me in the term break because I knew nothing of the dance. The Lindy Hop was a great fun dance for kids to learn. And another person has asked, can you please repeat that website for the dancing? Correct me if I'm wrong, Quito, that was Darwin Swing Shift on YouTube, and they can probably whack in Quito Washington, your name, to find that too.
Absolutely. And if anyone's coming up to Darwin or anyone's traveling through, you're more than welcome. We have the world's most dangerous big band up here, the Hot and Cold Big Band, at the historic Darwin Railway Club. We offer a free beginner lesson because we just want people off the couch and out of their homes and just come out and be social.
And Quito, you best let us know if you make your way down here to Canberra at all.
Oh, you guys have a thriving swing scene down there, but I'll give you a shout. But your swing scene down there is literally off the charts. So everyone, Australia is doing great. Canberra's doing great. Perth is amazing. You guys have really just, really got a Lindy Hop and swing dance scene under control.
Well, I feel lifted. I feel buoyed. I feel lifted from talking with you this afternoon, Quito. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. You have a great day.
Same to you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Quito Washington there, who is the founder of Swing Dance